So let's start with the first question. This is literally a 2-mark exam question. What is covalent bonding? Now, in any exam, in any science exam, the general rule is when there's 2 marks, you spend 2 minutes. So these kind of questions where you don't actually have to write a lot, if you answer in under 2 minutes, that helps save you time to then add on more time for the harder questions, like the 6-mark questions or certain 4-mark questions, which are more difficult. So what is a covalent bond? Well, I'm going to go through the answer to begin with. And the answer is, all you need to write is a shared pair of electrons. That is literally it, a shared pair of electrons. So if you say a covalent bond is a bond between non-metal atoms, that is wrong. You will not get that correct. That is wrong. You can't say that. That's not a definition for what is a covalent bond. I'm going to take you through a video now about what are covalent bonds very briefly, so you can actually understand how to know which substances are have covalent bonding. Excuse me. So here is a diagram of the periodic table, and to the right we have all of these nonmetals, where there's boron, silicon, and further on we have these nonmetals, where we have aluminium, and to the left of these elements, these are the metals. So covalent bonding is always between non-metal atoms only. And to the left, we have metals. So we know that, yes, covalent bonds are between non-metal atoms, but you cannot define a covalent bond as a non-metal. So how do we identify substances as having covalent bonding? This is something that students really struggle with. And at the back of your chemistry exam, you always have a periodic table every single time. Sometimes it might be at the front if you do GCSE EDEXCEL potentially, but the periodic table is going to be the same. You have the mass number at the top. Sorry, that's a really bad misconception. Never say that. You have the mass number, which is the bigger number, and the atomic number, which is the smaller number. Some periodic tables have the mass number at the bottom, so never say top or bottom. Excuse me. Now, these elements, boron, silicon, arsenic, and down here to the right, these are all nonmetals. So if you have a substance such as H2, which is hydrogen gas, CO2, which is carbon dioxide gas, Cl2, which is chlorine, H2O, which is water, O2, which is oxygen gas, hydrogen chloride, this is a gas. How do you know if these have covalent bonding between the atoms? Well, what you do, you go to the periodic table and you think, okay, carbon is a non-metal, oxygen is a non-metal, so there must be covalent bonding between the atoms. Hydrogen is a non-metal, chlorine is a non-metal, so there must be covalent bonds between the hydrogen and chlorine atoms. Hydrogen and oxygen nonmetals must be covalent bonding, okay? So that's how you can identify if there's covalent bonding between these atoms. Let's go into question time. Okay, remember, I'm going to say the question 1, 2, 3. Only when I say go, you write the number. Nonmetals are found on the, is it 1, 2, or 3? And go. Well done, excellent. Well done, number 1, perfect. Of course, right of the periodic table, very important to understand and remember that. All molecules consist of, something I never explicitly taught you, a molecule, really the true definition of a molecule is a substance where there are 2 or more non-metal atoms covalently bonded together. So if we go back a step, these are all molecules because we've got 2 or more atoms covalently bonded together. And if they have covalent bonds, they have to be non-metals. So therefore, based on that, all molecules consist of 1, 2, or 3. And go. Not sure about that one? Let's do that one again. All molecules consist of what? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Well done, it's number 3. Okay, this one, we're going to move on from that one. H2O is a molecule as it is made of what? 1, 2, or 3? 3, 2, 1, and go. The answer is non-metals. So H2O is a molecule because it's made of non-metal atoms. Now, I'm going to explain how a covalent bond forms. Here is the information for hydrogen. The mass number is 1, atomic number is 1. When we draw the electron configuration diagram of this, we use the rule 2882, or you may see it as 288, whatever the rule is that you've learned. This means that 2 electrons go on the first shell, 8 on the second, 8 on the third, and it's more than 2 on the fourth shell, but generally speaking, you only need to learn this up to calcium. Now, these 2 hydrogen atoms, they both have 1 electron in their outer shell. The question is, in the chat section, are these atoms stable, yes or no, when they have 1 electron in their outer shell? No. Well done, Kelsey. Well done, Kasai. Well done, Fatah. The answer is no. Does anybody know why? Why? Can you tell me why in the chat section? Why are they not stable? Well done. I like Kasar's answer. They need a full outer shell, which is 2. So they have to have a full outer shell to be stable. And you're right there, Kelsey, but they need a full outer shell. So what are they going to do, do you think? To form a covalent bond, do you think they're going to share electrons or transfer? What do you think? Share or transfer? Exactly, share their outer electrons. So we can show this as a dot and cross diagram like this. When we draw a dot and cross diagram, the 2 circles have to overlap. And inside the circles where they overlap, we draw a dot and a cross. The dot from this electron, the dot from this atom is this electron, and the cross from this atom is this electron. And that's all it is. This is a covalent bond. Now they have a full shell of electrons in the outer shell, the molecule is stable, okay? And the covalent bond is between the atoms. So, I would like you now, please, I'd like you now to please answer this question in the chat section. Question 1, off you go. What is a covalent bond? I'm going to give you 20 seconds to answer that. 20 seconds, go. Three, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, shared pair of electrons, atoms with a shared pair of electrons, shared pair of electrons. Excellent. Literally, that's it. It's not share electron, it's shared pair of electrons. All you need to say is shared pair of electrons. Excellent. That will get you 2 marks.